Okay. I will try not to do that to you. Okay, this is not meant to be a loaded question, but what are you struggling with right now? I think it could be anything. It's not meant to, say what don't you like about your job or anything like that. It's just more of, do you have anything that you're struggling with?
Yeah, I guess I would love my job to evolve into what they call push-in, where I would work in the classroom as in closer collaboration with the teachers. And I have been able to do that some in kindergarten and a little in second grade, and for a little bit in fourth grade in math. But now we're back to this model of having the 24 computers and the girls here is a little old-fashioned, actually, in a way. And if I could come in and be one of the stations or work with teachers, maybe see the girls less, not every week, but maybe for 2 months at a time, every blah, blah, blah. So it's a schedule thing, but it's more than a schedule thing, it's a mindset thing. So where I would maybe do X project with first grade, and that would be in the beginning of the year, and then I wouldn't actually see them too much after that, or maybe one project at the end. So I don't know.
How would
I
that
have
work
done
with the classrooms or with the teachers in the classrooms?
It would, that would be the cultural shift.
Yeah.
'Cause, I think it could work out well if teachers believed in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, some people, I think the teachers feel pretty stressed about time and they don't want another thing
Right.
to pound into it. So it's like,
How do you make it easy?
yeah, how do you make it easy and, and worth their time and worth the girls' time, where it's not frivolous. It is something that makes the learning go deeper. And anyway.
Those are great questions. Those are
Yeah.
really great questions. Okay. What is one of your favorite teaching techniques that you use?
I guess it would be problem-based learning is sort of the buzzword, where I give them enough skills and a task, and then they have to discover different ways of doing it or their way of doing it or whatever. So it's not necessarily a recipe step by step by step, but this is how you do this, this is how you do this, this is what I'd like you to have at the end of this, and then they figure out how to do that on the computer. So, and it takes a lot of scaffolding in the beginning when they're little, especially since kids now can't use mice because they're
Right.
used to touch screens.
Right, the touch. Interesting. Isn't that amazing, right? How quickly it all changes. My 3-year goes up to my TV and, is hitting it. Like, why doesn't it respond when I do that? It's so crazy. Do you find this problem-based learning that kindergartners can absorb that as easily as a third or fourth grader?
Yeah, and sometimes kindergartners are more, they'll plunge in maybe a little more, they'll be less, yeah, they can.
Yeah.
I think kids are able to filter out what they don't need, whereas teaching adults, sometimes they need to know what every icon means, instead of saying, here are some things, these icons mean this, try that. And then they say, but what's that and that and that? Well, see if you can figure it out.
Right. Interesting.
And kids, I think, do that naturally.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's what their parents make them do. Go figure it out.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about the last time you tried something new that succeeded, and then the flip of that is something when you tried something new that failed?
Well, I guess the lesson I just talked about
Yeah.
succeeded, and
Yeah.
I'm really thrilled with that. And something that didn't work, I was really excited about making these power bracelets last year. Just sort of. So, here's this one actually works. I don't know. The battery may or may not work right now.
Oh, that's cool.
And what it is, it's fashioning technology is what they call. This woman at MIT kind of named it that. And it's an LED, and it's this wonderful kind of conductive thread. And so the idea is, of course, the battery's not working right now, but this lights up. And
Cool.
so this was a project that was going to be part of the superheroes thing last year with
Yeah.
the fourth grade. But what happened is a lot of field trips came in the spring, even though I thought I'd planned it right. And there just wasn't enough time.
Enough time.
And the one little girl said, "It's okay, just fail me." And I said, no, actually, I'm not going to fail you. I didn't get, there's not enough time to finish this. If you can finish
Right.
this, is great. We'll figure it out. So I think the timing of this, not understanding how long it would take for everyone to actually just thread the needles, was the toughest.
So interesting. Isn't that funny?
I mean, I had all this great technology, and it was threading
It was the needle.
needles.
So
Anyway.
how did that make you feel? Doesn't sound like you were too upset about it, probably for good reason, obviously.
Well,
but-
I was, I had been so looking forward to it and kind of planning it, so it was disappointing a bit, but
Yeah.
I think the kids, the ones that got them going were okay.
Yeah.
And I did say I'd put together the ones that people wanted more help with, and I got some going. But
Okay.
and again, I learned a lot how to scale it back.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
at one point I was teaching them parallel circuits. That's what this one is. And I realized that was insane. So it's going to be a single circuit this year, and I'm not sure if it's going to be a headband or something. We'll figure out
That's
what we're
great.
doing.
Well, I look forward to seeing those. That'll be terrific. Okay, last question. If you could change one thing about education, what would it be?
I guess the isolation, the fact that I don't know what it is sometimes. People get set in their ways and don't have time or inclination to collaborate. And I think I don't know how you make it happen all the time. It's so interesting. Actually, one project that went really well was the one that Susan and I did last year, the last faculty meeting, where you would think that the last faculty meeting of the year you couldn't get any energy out of anything, and we had people use our 21st century skills scheme and present projects large and small to each other. It was unbelievable. I mean, there were like people said, "Oh yeah, I get it. The research starts on flowers in kindergarten, and then it goes through, and then it's the 8th grade project, blah, blah, blah." I mean, it was thrilling. It was
Great.
unbelievably thrilling. So I guess, what was the question?
It was if you could
If
change
you
one thing
change-
about education, but
so-
you were talking about this.
So, I mean, I don't know what drains people's energy, but you can't get teachers to stop talking. And it's just like finding those times where we really can learn from each other, because I think they're really smart, interesting people on this campus who I barely see.
Right. Right. And to your last example, when you were all in that room, even though it may have not been the most ideal time, like amazing things happen.
And it was supposed to be a shorter meeting, and they jettisoned the rest of the thing, and they said, "We just have to keep going with this."
That's fabulous. That's
I mean,
great.
and it's all the brain trust that's here.
Yeah.
And
Feeding off each other with the
Yeah.
ideas and creating something. Yeah.
it was thrilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. All right.